Hello and welcome to a new episode of BLOCKTALES. I'm super happy to have Ivan today with me. He is from 3x Capital. And yeah, let's hand over to Ivan directly. Maybe you can make a small introduction and explain what you're doing and who you are.
Thank you, Sarah. Greetings to everyone. My name is Ivan Maltsev. I'm originally Ukrainian. Currently, I hold a position of a general partner at 3x Capital. But frankly, before that story started with the crypto, I was working as a lawyer, and it was quite boring for me to draft different types of agreements and contracts. And finally, when I understood that there is some opportunity in the market and I have to deep dive to research and then to invest, in 2016, I decided to buy a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and that's how the journey started for me. And frankly, it wasn't so simple as right now. So currently, people are able to buy just using their cards or bank accounts. But those days, it wasn't possible to uh, do like that. So you had to meet with someone. You had to provide some cash to another person, and then wait when the transaction will be executed. So the times has come, I think, in 2018 when the Binance has joined and totally changed the game. But in 2016, it was a different market. At the same time, it was more exclusive community of mainly tech people, like founders of different startups as well as software engineers. So I entered the space in spring 2016, and still I was continue to work as a lawyer. As I mentioned, it was quite boring
So maybe
those
let's
days.
stop for a
So in the
moment.
beginning of 2000.
Maybe let's stop for a moment because you mentioned already so many interesting things. So the first thing is, like you said, you entered the space in 2016. So how did you do? I mean, or why did you do it? Was there somebody who kind of introduced you, or how did you? I mean, 2016, not so many people talked about Bitcoin and blockchain. So how did the journey start for you?
Mhm. So actually, I was having some extra cash that I wanted to deploy, and I decided that the crypto is much more easier for me to enter and has lower fees than, for instance, stocks market. So I decided and started with the cryptocurrencies after small research. And those days we didn't have like thousands of cryptos. So my view felt on the top three cryptocurrencies that were Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP during those days. And actually, I called my friend who was a founder of a startup and a software development company as well, and asked him, does he know someone who can help me with crypto? And he said, yeah, just come to my office and I will introduce
Okay.
you. And that's how everything started. So
That's
I came there, created account in Poloniex exchange. This is an exchange of Justin Sun, um, the founder of Tron, and that's how actually I entered the space.
okay, super interesting. And maybe you can explain a little more about, you said it wasn't just easy to buy a cryptocurrency like you're doing it today. And you said like Binance changed the game in 2018. So how did it work? I mean, whom did you give your money and how did you get your cryptos back in 2016? Maybe you can let us know a little more about your process.
Mhm. Sure. So I arrived to the office, already had account in Poloniex exchange, and there was a guy who was working with my friend, also IT. Um, in IT sector, and he was older than me, so he was around 45, maybe 50 years old. a very big guy, and I just gave him cash, and he sent to me bitcoins, and I was waiting for some time to receive them, and of course I was worrying when everything will be done. So my first transaction was in 2016, and it was very successful. And frankly, I didn't want to trade, so I just bought Ethereum and XRP for those bitcoins and was just holding for almost a year.
Okay.
So I didn't buy any additional crypto. I didn't trade them. I was just buy and hold, and still I think this strategy might be one of the most undervalued in the market, because everyone is searching for like quick money, big money, but people are forgetting about the long-term perspectives of different blockchains and
So is it
technologies.
still like your main strategy to decide to do a deep research, decide for a certain coin and then stick with it? Or did you change your opinion on that?
Um, Surely I changed, and I am much more diversified right now than before. So currently, I hold the investment portfolio in the main assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. A small portion for XRP. Also, I stake different cryptocurrencies that are on working on proof of stake currently. So I receive the interest every day or every month or every year. And of course, I do some like swing trading, so I can buy an asset and sell it in a month or 3 months. So it's like a medium term trading using different strategies.
Okay, so the thing is, I think you are now a lot deeper into the space now nowadays than you had been in 2016. So there's another super like an easy question to start because now we're already kind of deep in what you're doing. But how would you explain your Web3 everyday life to your grandma? So what are you doing now, and how can you summarize it super easy or in a super easy way?
I will say to my grandmother that I'm reading an innovative books and applying those books in my daily life, leveraging new technologies built by brilliant
Sounds
people.
nice. Okay. And if she would ask about what is that technology you're talking about, what would be your answer?
This is kind of a building block for the future technology. So this is like a blockchains, like a fundamental block for building new applications that we use daily in our phones or computers.
Nice. Okay, I like that. And so you said that you have been working as a lawyer before, and then you decided to change full time to the crypto space. So when was it and why? So you already said it kind of got boring, but so what was the main reason and to finally change? I mean, your whole career path.
Sure, sure. So in 2016, I entered the space, and still I was working as a lawyer in international pharmaceutical company. I wasn't very satisfied with the corporate culture, with the level of salary and perspectives in my life. And when the market went down in 2017, I decided that I have to learn. And first of all, I have to invest more time and more focus into the learning process. That's why I quit my job in spring 2017. At the same time, I applied for a PhD degree in the European University to study international economy. And of course, I did a lot of research on my own, learning and sharing the information in Facebook. I was active on Facebook and speaking about altcoins and Bitcoin there in 2017 and 18, and that's actually how I found my next full-time job as a portfolio manager. I was posting my thoughts on the market, and a guy who was the founder of crypto startup. He saw that I'm like an analyst as a portfolio manager, and he approached to me, and that's how we connected. And I was working with them almost for 2 years. Your social media are also your great asset that sometimes gives you
What
unexpected
is the
results.
most important social media channel for you right now? Or what do you think is the most important that you use
Uh,
most?
Of course, LinkedIn. We do a lot of things there. First of all, my team writes a lot of analytical reports, and we do like LinkedIn Live events weekly, where we present different information. For instance, on the previous Saturday, I presented the blockchain metrics as well as the roadmaps for two largest ecosystems like Ethereum and Binance BNB Smart Chain. So also we organize events in Metaverse where we invite guest speakers, our startups, as well as people who would like to join and have the Web3 experience.
That's super.
Right now.
That's super interesting. And I think something that just came to my mind is like you mentioned, you're living at the moment, you're living in the Ukraine. And I think everybody knows about this super difficult situation. And I think what would be super interesting is to understand how is the crypto community in the Ukraine? Is it a huge topic or is it a smaller topic? And maybe really, did it change through the war? So is it like people are more interested in those topics, or is there like no time and no focus for this anymore? So I think this is something super interesting to hear something about it.
Frankly, in Ukraine, we have one of the strongest communities in the world. I can compare it because we travel a lot with my team. Just during the previous autumn, I was traveling to 15 countries worldwide to different meetings, conferences, and events. So the population of Ukraine is around 45 million people, and we have the highest adoption rate in the world. So actually, Ukrainians are the largest community if we will compare it to other countries that, for instance, have higher population but lower rate of adoption. So we have many services that allow you to pay with crypto. We have powerful medias that are organizing different events, streams. For instance, in the end of previous year, I was participating as a jury in Ethereum hackathon organized in Kiev. So there are some great events that are happening in Ukraine, and there are some strong communities that are evolving very fast here. And what I love personally about Ukraine that people right now are very united, and people create together different startups in order to help Ukraine. For instance, one of them is called like UA Cats or something like this, and um, there will be like 10,000 NFTs minted, and 100% of this campaign goes directly to the United 24. It's the charity fund that we support, and the charity fund that is led by our president, Volodymyr Zelensky. So we leverage in Ukraine. We leverage the technology to do a lot of good things, and this is just one of examples that um, we have right now. Also, during the Web Summit, for instance, in Lisbon this autumn, we were raising money for Ukraine by selling our NFTs with Brave Cossacks, and the NFTs gives you access to the closed investment community. that we are building. So um, Ukraine is different, and um, in Ukraine, you definitely had more freedom than in Europe before the war started, and that's how the technology was used. Just a few examples, but there are a lot of them.
Was the community as strong as it is now before the war started, or did it become a lot stronger by now?
It became a lot stronger. Many organizations like 3X, we together donate with other VC funds from Ukraine, with other medias directly to charity funds. We organize different support together with our partners. Just during the previous 10 months, together with my team, we donated almost $50,000 to Ukraine for charity, for different activities, as well as we are raising through NFT collections all the time. So we try to
Yes,
support
nice.
our country using our network, our communities in different
That's super
social medias.
interesting. So I think it's super important that those options are available. And so, because out of curiosity, is it only men or is it mostly men, or do you have a lot of women also participating in the blockchain community?
Yes, we have women. Um, I know personally a few girls who started like 5 6 years ago together with me, and they were like raising money or working for different startups in the space. So I think there are a lot of brilliant girls who are working
That's
in this
great.
space in
Cool. Nice
Ukraine.
to know. And so I know that you're working for 3x Capital at the moment. So you're one of the general partners and you're like in VC supporting early stage startups. And of course, you can let us know a little about 3x Capital. But I think the most interesting part is that you have like an educational program and people can apply for that. And I think it's super nice. I was checking at it as well because it's not that easy to find out how to be a VC. So I think it's a difficult way, and I mean, I know that your program is kind of supporting people to really learn and understand how the VC industry is working. And so I think it's super interesting to get to know a little more about your program.
Thank you, Sarah, for your kind words. And frankly, the program originally was created to train investment analysts to our team because there are not so many experts in Web3 space because it's relatively a new space. And even for us who are like 5 7 years in the space, we're learning all the time, working almost every day in order to be to know everything that is happening. So we created the program, I think, in the end of 2021, and offered it for free to our community, and it was a big success because we during the first first cohort, we had 3 people who have joined the team after the
That's
educational
nice.
program. So it was for free in the beginning, and then on the second cohort, one participant said that he is shocked that he will receive this type of content for free, and that's how we thought, why not to use it. And the participant of the second cohort was Oksana, who became
Yes, I
our
know her. She's
educational
super
program
nice.
manager right now. Yes, yes, and she is managing all the program, and definitely we updated it a lot and offered to the community tokenized access to Web3 education in metaverse. So people are buying NFTs that are an access to the classes in metaverse. So they connect their MetaMask wallet or another wallet to our space in Special. Special, it's a place where we do the metaverse gatherings, and after that they can join the classes. And during the program, we provide a structured approach on how to analyze, how to source great deals in the market. We changed a bit our content in order to provide the insights to broader audience, because in the beginning, as you mentioned, we started with early stage investments, but right now we offer the opportunity also to dive deeply into the liquid tokens and their analytical approach. So we offer different ratios and different models on how you can actually predict the price, or at least have different scenarios for the process, or to find the most attractive token in the particular niche. So for different niches, we have different ratios that we use to calculate that. And we build the program that contains of 8 weeks, where every week you have a lecture, you have a guest speaker, you have a peer-to-peer session, and you have a mentorship session. So people are working with each other. People are engaged with different types of tasks during the week, like writing analytical articles, writing investment memos for different startups, or calculating valuations using different approaches that we offer for the community. At the same time, we offer different tools on how to find the information that you need, using a lot of things that we are using in our fund.
Interesting.
To sum up, I think this is a great course for traders, for instance, who want to start investing, not just trading. This is a good course for people who want to switch from Web 2 to Web 3. So we try to simply explain the basics of the technology as well as the market. And that is a great course for Web3 founders who want to understand how VCs actually see them, how we analyze them, and as well as receive a feedback from us, um, in order to improve their pitch deck or startup or tokenomics. So anything.
And understand. So, from your point of view, what is like the hardest part for you in the VC business?
Um, the hardest part for us is to mm, I can divide it into two parts. The first one is the fundraising. So it's really hard to build close relationships with people whom you
Totally
don't
agree.
know usually. So it takes your time, your creativity, your focus on this part. This is a big part of our work, like building relationships, not networking, as many people say. I'll go to the conference for networking. Networking ends usually with nothing, but relationships can end unexpectedly in many ways. And the second is to find uh, a great team and to provide uh, the solid value to the team, because sometimes you can invest in startup, and then you don't know how you can help, or you are not involved in the activities as a board member, or as a like advisor. Um and sometimes it's absolutely different. So we in the beginning we try to ask what value add you need now, what value add you will need in 2 or 5 years. And in the beginning we try to list all types of support, diving deeply into even our network or our previous experiences that we can provide to the founder. So, to sum up, the fundraising in terms of building relationships in the systematic way, as well as supporting our portfolio companies, is something that is the
Yes.
hardest
And I
usually.
think the topic about fundraising, so it's super hard sometimes for the VCs and especially and also for the startups. So it's always trying to yeah, finding a way how to bond with people, how to bond with investors, and then of course offer some great knowledge, some plus points in different areas. So yeah, it's interesting because like normally startups think it's easy for a VC to get the money together, but so even for VC, this is like super difficult part. So yeah, this is like an important aspect.
Sure.
So um, to why do you like personally believe in blockchain and the technology and Web3 and everything around that? So why did you decide to work in that space? I mean, of course, it's great for building, but what's the point why you personally believe that it's worth working in that area?
Um, First of all, I can simply explain that my personal values and the values of the technology are very similar. So what we can see, if we say in one side we have Ivan and in another side we have Ethereum. Both of them are transparent. Both of them are friendly. So we are open to talk, open to work, as Ethereum is open for everyone in the world. So you can use the network for many things, not just trading, investing. You can build, you can send the value, so you can uh, change a service for the Ether. Um, so for me, it would be first of all the values, the core values. Second, I'm a big fan of like decentralization and freedom, because sometimes when I have to introduce myself, or people ask where do you live, I say I'm like decentralized, and that's true. And the same with Ethereum. So currently, it has more than 500,000 validators worldwide. So that's a huge network that is growing very, very fast. And if you if you want to know more, find me on LinkedIn and check my latest report in 3x Capital team page, where I explain all the details. And to sum up, I think that this market gives for people the opportunity to be financially free, and this is something that important for
Mhm.
everyone. Something that we we value a lot, the true ownership. So when you have a bank account, the owner of your money is usually a bank. When you own a crypto in your hardware wallet, you own your crypto. Or if you have a MetaMask wallet, you also own your crypto, and you can do any things with it within 10 seconds. So you can send it, you can sell it, you can gift it. Or donate it. So a lot of opportunities that we see in the space, and I'm very happy to
That's
be a
cool.
part of it.
So I have one off topic question because I know that you have been part of the Toastmaster Club, and I know that they kind of help and educate people in how to speak and how to present, how to be on stage, basically. And so the question is, did it help you, like especially while talking to investors, and like did it help you to find your way?
Sure, it helped me a lot, and frankly, during the school, I was afraid to present the information in front of the audience, even when I knew the answers to the questions. I was trying to skip and avoid those opportunities, and then accidentally I was invited to the Toastmasters meeting that has happened in the office near my place where I was working as a lawyer. And lucky me, it was a championship of Ukraine of public speaking, and one of the speakers who later on became my mentor, he was the US citizen based in Kiev, and he presented the topic of public speaking, of fears, like emotions during the public speaking, and he said that the words that dive deeply into my heart right now, that no one was born as a great leader, and by practicing, you will be made as a leader. So and said that the Toastmaster is a place where leaders are made, so the place where you can practice, when you can receive a feedback, when you have all the structure and all the structured instructions to develop your individual style of public speaking. And of course, he inspired me, and I, I'm just, you can say, I learned almost from scratch, from being afraid to speak to the person who is ready now and go first to speak and approach. And it helped me a lot during the conferences, during the meetings with people. I'm very open, as well as during our presentations to potential investors, and presenting information like very deep analytical data about the blockchains or about the market, um, in online and live events. So it changed my life, and I definitely am ambassador of this program that can help you with, of course, with your own practice to improve, and um, your leadership skills. First of all, improve your leadership skills, and then public speaking skills, because it's more about
I
leadership
understand. Okay, so I
than
think
public
it's super
speaking.
important to learn and grow as long as you're super young, and it's important to be able to speak to people. So, Ivan, we are already coming to the end, and we are always trying to finish with one question, and maybe you have something in your mind. We are always trying to ask whether you have like your favorite crypto story, like something small that just comes to your mind, something funny, something nice, something where people can learn something from, but like something once upon a time.
Mhm. Of course, I have a lot of stories, but I will share the story that is very warm for me, and maybe some of you wouldn't believe me, but that's true. Believe me or not. The story started with a message from my mother in 2019. She sent to me a link to the educational program that was organized by US government for talents from Ukraine, and she said just submit there, because she was searching for programs for my younger sister Sophia to study abroad. And I submitted my application. Then I had like few rounds of interviews, a lot of information that I provided to this company, and finally I was accepted for this program that was organized by US Aid. This is the name of the organization, and as a part of this program, we studied for 9 months together with Ukrainians from all over the world, and then we traveled to the US. And the first person whom I met from this program was my future partner, Dima, who is also a participant of this program. We were sitting together in the plane, speaking about life for 8 hours to fly from, I think, from Paris or Warsaw to Washington D.C. And then we spent 1 month in the U.S. together with Dima and Teras, our third partner, who was also a participant of this program, and we became friends. And all of us were investors, and then we decided that we would like to invest together and to support innovations together. And this is a story that has changed definitely the course of my personal development and my life, I believe. What I can like sum up from this, first of all, listen to your mother sometimes, uh, and second, don't be afraid to apply somewhere. You never know what life can offer to you, and sometimes this kind of offers transform into new, unpredictable, and beautiful reality that you can have. So my story with React started with the link from
That's
my mother.
a super nice story, and I think this is perfect to just end this episode. So, Ivan, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, your experiences, and your educational program. So, super happy that you had been in our podcast, and thank you for that.
Thank you, Sarah, for invitation. Pleasure.